The WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 match when you deposit. Sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Know me, know the voice, know the guy. It's me, really Ro, Villain Ro, Terrell, Furman Jr. here at your sirs. So there were some things that didn't go as well last night. We know where the books cap the Gabby Williams line at. It's at 23.5. When it hits 23.5, good things don't happen. But before that, all systems go. We also know Indiana had a good day. So the Indiana teams on under didn't get there this time. And Fee didn't play. So, yeah. But the good things, getting 2-1 against the Los Angeles Sparks really was crazy work. And it went exactly according to plan. I mean, they blew it in the fourth quarter, completely blew the game. 6 point. And to imagine, there were people that spent their hard-earned dollars buying that line up from 1.5 Sparks to -6. Mm-hmm. And they didn't cover a single line. It's not even like they won, not covered. They didn't cover. They didn't win. They lost outright. Oh, man. Shout out to my dog. Scott Studio Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, can't complain. Had a decent episode. Ended up splitting. I did win the dog, though. I had Hamby over 4.5 assists. Got there pretty easily, so cannot complain there. Yeah, don't have much else to add. I feel like at the end of the day, it was a pretty interesting day. Like the over in the Sky game that got there easily, just backing both defenses to be terrible. But overall, nothing that was too, I'd say, good or bad. Ended up losing the lock, but I'll live with that. Hit the dog, so can't complain too much. Gabby let me down. It's fine. It is what it is. But either way, decent episode for me. Nothing that was that terrible. So we'll try to just move forward and we'll try to sweep.
All right. I'm looking for the sweep here today. I hit multiple Chicago Sky bets yesterday, by the way, Scott. First half team total over and the money line.
Does that feel like even better because the Sky are really bad?
Yes. Yes, it does. But, toilet bowl principles work. We didn't just say it just to say it. It works.
Yeah.
The Sparks shouldn't have been laying 6 points. There was no reason for the Sparks to be laying 6 points. They can't close the fourth quarter. The only thing I was worried about is that if the Sparks blew the fourth quarter and then the Sky blew it right after them. And it was going to be who's going to blow the fourth quarter more. But nope. Sky played good. Closed out. Got a win at home. All right. 2 games on Wednesday. 2 games on Thursday to talk about, Scott. Let's get to it. But first, got to mention that NASCAR is in their season tournament, and we are running a free contest. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NASCAR contest for your chance to win a $200 gift card. And make sure you subscribe over there to the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Shout out Ron, Cody, all the guys over there. All right. Wow, both of these are at 10 p.m. Jesus Christ. What am I supposed to do?
I know, you got to find another hobby or something, which is just not a fun time.
What am I supposed to do from 7 to 10?
Nap.
I'm not watching any of these baseball games. Oh, well, I guess the Mets are playing. But I'm not going to sit there and just watch the Mets game all the way. And then there's Clay Holmes. Is he good?
He's fine. Been pretty decent for the Mets. They can't beat the Braves, though. Braves have been...
Didn't he suck for the Yankees?
It was a weird time with the Yankees. He was a reliever. He was fine for the most part, but when he was bad, it was really bad.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of Yankees fans look back thinking that he was terrible. Most of the time, he was actually pretty good.
Okay.
The flare-ups were really bad.
All right. Well, I guess we're fast forwarding to 10 p.m. on the East Coast after the Mets game. That's disappointing. Whatever. Las Vegas Aces going up against Connecticut Sun at home. Aces are laying 19 points. 160.5 is the total here. All right, Scott. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you like to lay 19 points with the Aces against anybody?
No, but if there was one team I would be doing it against.
Second question. Would you like to take the Connecticut Sun in any way, shape, or form against anybody?
No, but there are other really bad teams in the league, but I'd say no.
That's the dilemma here. It's two things I don't want to do. Because this is like, Scott, in their heyday, they weren't laying 19 points. Yeah. I mean, those lines were large, but 19?
I'm going to ask you because I feel like we're stuck between a rock and a hard place here.
Marina Mabry's out, by the way, just so everybody knows. She's going to be out 2 to 4 weeks. So...
a lot of shots up for grabs.
Yeah, a lot of shots up for grabs. I mean, you're 50-50 on the production because she can either shoot you in the game or she's playing for the other team. I'm sorry, man. I think the books are vastly. The total's at 160.5, by the way. I think the books are vastly underestimating how bad the Aces defense is. At the end of the day, these girls are still in the league.
Well, I'll ask though, how many points is Mabry even worth? Like, assuming she's active in this game, what's the line?
1.5, 2.
I was gonna say like 17.5, 17.
Like, she's like 1.5, 2 points. Like, that's it. Nothing close to Asia.
I mean, I guess I'm on Aces, but I'm not gonna bet it.
The period monthly cycle jokes are such low-hanging fruit.
I don't actually have the data behind it if it actually makes it. If it actually
no, it doesn't.
You only see selective like posts about it just as a narrative, but they said yesterday's devastation. I thought it was fine yesterday.
We saw Asia average like almost 30 points over the course of an entire season. Like,
yeah, that is true.
So clearly it doesn't work. I really think that like the Aces defense is really bad. And can the Aces beat them by this much? Yes, possibly. Am I going to just sit here and say that it's a foregone conclusion? No. I'm sorry. I can't lay 19 points with a team that I question defensively, like regardless of what the Connecticut Sun have going on. This could be somebody that we don't even talk about like that, have a welcome to the league game and have this big 20-point performance and help give this team a scoring punch. Like, I can't trust the Aces defensively to cover 19.5. So if you ask me, I'm not betting it, but I'll take the Connecticut Sun plus the points and give me a first half over in this game because, again, Aces defense is bad, but I think the Aces are going to come out here and they're going to go and try to figure out the offensive woes that they've been having. And why not beat up on a Connecticut Sun team that you beat up early this season?
I get the argument that you're making. I just think that maybe I don't want to say the Aces figured it out against the Fever. But I just think that the Sun offensively are so bad that without Mabry potentially catching fire in this game, I don't know who's going to score on this team. So I think I'm just on once again, the Aces, but I'm not going to bet this game. I'm not interested.
Insano, I don't watch the NBA draft.
You don't have any picks. You give my team all your picks. You don't have any picks.
I don't, but even if we did, I don't watch the draft because it's just like
you're sitting there. Well,
like,
do you watch the NFL draft?
No, not really. You only have me until the Giants pick. Luckily, the Giants normally pick rather early. Yeah, and so I'm out of there. Yeah, I'm out of there really, really quickly. And then, they randomly buy back into the first round. And now I'm scrambling trying to get to a TV again to see it. But like, nah, and the NBA draft is worse.
I'm the same way, though. I feel like I used to be a bigger draft guy when I was younger. And then I reached a moment where I realized, why am I watching a clock drain down every time? Like, they're going to tell me the picks anyway. Like, why do I even bother? So yeah. I don't watch the draft at all anymore. I mean, the Nets have 5 picks, so I'll probably be tuning in constantly for the first round.
In the first round?
They have
No.
5 picks.
No, not in the first round.
Yes, in the first round. They have
in the first 30 picks, they have 5 picks.
They have 5 picks. Yeah. They have 5 picks. I mean, only one of them are in the top 10. So they pick 8th, and then after that, they got another pick yesterday because they were involved in picking up Terrence Mann's contract and that Porzingis trade. But no, the Nets have 5 first-round picks. So I'll be paying attention to it, but I'm tuning back and forth. I care more about the trades. That's what I care more about for the NBA draft. But my team's drafting 5 times, so I'll be paying attention to it.
Yeah.
They are 8, 19, 26, 27. Sorry, so it might only be 4 picks. My bad. But the point is they have a lot of picks.
I think the last draft I watched was the one with the Luka and Trae Young that I watched
8, 19, 26, 27. So sorry, it's 4 first-round picks.
Oh, okay. All right. Look at the NBA. Now they're dropping NBA bets. Chat is so unhinged. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. All right. Back to the game. I'm on over. I don't trust them. I don't trust either of these teams defensively. And I think the Aces could just have a crazy offensive day. And we'll talk about player prop in just a second, but I'm on over. Over first half. More of a first half over for me. Sun have been really good to the first half number. 6-1 on the road as a dog. Well, they were a dog in every game. So 6-1 on the road this season for the Connecticut Sun in the first half to the over. Aces are 3-1. It's a home favorite to the first half over. So I like that spot.
I think I'd rather go for the Aces team total in the first half. I don't trust Connecticut at all, but I think the Aces can get whatever they want.
Okay.
Because without Mabry, I really don't know if the shot making will be there for this team. I'd rather just go for the Aces offense in this game.
I guess it's my blind faith of just I've seen the Aces allow anybody to score. And so if this is a weird, like, Sanaya Rivers constantly gets to the bucket type of game, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. Anissa Morrow on the boards. I wish they would release Anissa Morrow props. I would be interested. Anissa Morrow's been kind of frying recently.
Okay.
14 in that last game against the
I doubt we get props
against the
on
Valkyries.
That,
and she's had double digit scoring games 3 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize it was I knew she was frying. So what's this? She has 16-9, 10-7, 14-4. Yeah. See, like, and they'll fuck around and let somebody like one of the rookies go off in this game too. I know it. All right. Scott, I texted you this last night. Asia Wilson's points prop is at 21.5.
Yep.
I mean, regardless of what you think about them playing on the first leg of a back-to-back, she can get this a good majority of this in the first half.
Yeah, she can.
She's wants to find her shot. She wasn't happy with the performance. First of all, she had 24 in a bad game, Scott. 24 in a bad game.
It's a very low number.
Yeah.
Very, very low.
And so, like, it's like they're automatically anticipating, yeah, she's only playing like a half here.
It makes sense when you factor in the game script, but then again, the Aces are also terrible, so they might be trying to just get some, I'd say, mojo back, maybe.
And the fact that
it's also
she just
assuming the
missed
Aces blow
games.
them out. Yeah.
She just missed a bunch of games, too. Like, she needs the work.
But we've also talked about how the Aces have been underwhelming. That's assuming we even trust them to blow this team out. I think they will.
That's what I'm saying.
But
because you can't pull her, and this is a 10-point game.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, over 21.5. What? Foolish. What else we got here, Scott?
I want nothing with Connecticut. That's a pure pass. I don't know if I have much else because I have to pick between Jewel and I have to pick between Jackie and Gray, and it's been underwhelming. So I got nothing for this game, to be honest, because garbage time might be a thing. You might see the Aces bench everybody in the fourth quarter. It's possible for that to happen. So it's tough to actually bet player props for me. I think I'm just skipping over this game for the most part.
Give me Anissa Morrow over 15.5 points and rebounds.
Okay.
She's been over in her last 3 games. She's in the starting role. And I'm telling you, I think that, well, you too kind of a little bit. Everybody's underestimating how bad this Aces defense is, and they still haven't figured it out. And I'm just going to keep fading it until they figure it out. And so Anissa Morrow, if anything, she's got a motor. Like, if anything, she's a little undersized, but she has the motor. And if she has the motor, she's gonna grab boards off the glass. I mean, I don't think that. No, scratch that. I think that Asia Wilson is going to be concerned with Tina Charles majority of the game, and that's going to free up Anissa Morrow. And so you're telling me Anissa Morrow is going to get the Kia Stokes matchup all game, or maybe some other matchup where she, like, anybody else is actually undersized compared to her and her motor. So, like, yeah, no, give me Anissa Morrow over 15.5.
Anything else you like?
Points and rebounds, by the way, just so people say that. It's on FanDuel and BetMGM if people are looking for it. Yeah, nobody else I want to trust my luck with. I don't feel like playing Russian roulette with who's going to have the good game between Gray, Jewel, and Jackie today.
I get what you mean by that. I feel the same way. When you're looking at what could be only 3/4 of serious action, I don't think it's worth much. So I'm with you.
Hot take. Well, it's not a hot take because I said it already. I think we get 4 here. I think we're getting 4.
I'm saying there's a possibility, though.
No, it is. It very much. No, it's a possibility that it's just a half.
No, I'm not going to go that far because Becky's going to make sure that, the players don't completely punt the game. I think they'll go 3, for better or worse.
It could be 20 minutes, 20, 25. 25 could be the max that you see some people have going on here. All right. Next game up in just a second. But first, got to talk to you about mybookie.ag, your place to bet every single sport, including the MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, your football futures, NFL and college football, all over there at mybookie.ag. They accept customers from a ton of different locations, so make sure you go tap in. Head over there, lock into that over bet for that last game. I think there's going to be some points scored. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We are also brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino, giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience. 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their whole stay. You'll get a limo ride to and from the airport, a $5,000 tab for stadium swim, and a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. Plus, you can always get 15% off all the Circa properties with promo code SGP15. Your last chance to enter the ultimate fantasy football giveaway is right now. Make sure you take the opportunity. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. Let's go back to the chat here. Yeah, he's betting. Scott is a man of multiple talents. He's betting Wimbledon and WNBA at the same time. We've got Aces team total under. No, I'm sorry, can't. I'm no unders against the Connecticut Sun, but maybe I could see it if they are beating the crap out of them. So if you play the team total under, maybe you want to lay it with the Aces, and maybe they beat the crap out of them and punt it because the bench is kind of weak. W's in the chat. Let's see here. Stewart. No, that's not. No, that's next game. All right. Valkyries. My Golden State Valkyries at home, welcoming our New York Liberty. Liberty are laying 8.5. Opened up at 9.5. 161.5 is the total here. Timofey Bile is back for my Valkyries. She's back from overseas. Will be helping them out in the lineup in the front court here today. They're getting reinforcements. You've got Sabrina Ionescu, who is questionable but expected to play. So listed as questionable, but expected to play. We're still missing Jacquel Jones. We're still missing Leona Fibic. And for the Valkyries, you've got Carla Lette is questionable. Back injury, that's what it is. I mean, it's super easy, man. And this isn't even the homer in me that's just telling you blindly just take the Valkyries. Like, this Liberty team has a problem, and this is basically where we thought the Liberty were going to be at in the beginning of the season, and it just turns out the Liberty were slightly better. And then now the Jonquel Jones injury and then Fibic going and playing overseas is showing us, hey, look, now they're down 3 starters that were in those finals last year. Last game it was 4 because Sabrina was out. And so Sabrina coming back and playing this game, you're still down 2 starters from what you've been playing all year. And so the depth is really, really hurting you because now that brings Kennedy Burke into the starting lineup or Rebecca Gardner into the starting lineup. And then you're rolling with Izzy off the bench, Jalen Sherrod, who I love, but she hasn't gotten much run in the league off the bench. Of course, Maureen Johannes is still going to be playing in the game. So it's a lot of production that they're missing. It's a lot. It's a lot. And this Valkyries team, they've been able to play shorthanded and win games.
Yeah. Even when they don't win, though, they're competitive.
Yeah. This is an all Valkyrie spot for me. Of course, we're playing the first half as we always do, but Valkyries plus 8.5, sprinkle on the money line, man. This Valkyries team is really good at home. 5-2 at home this season.
I've talked about them at home. It's why I backed them against the Sun last game. Besides the Sun being terrible, I said the Valkyries' home court advantage is crazy. And I feel like people are acknowledging it, but not realizing just how intense the crowd is. It helps. Now, they're not bad on the road, but at home they were up by about 40 against the Aces. As bad as the Aces are, with Asia playing and you're up about 40 in the second half, you won that game. You've won a bunch of games at home. You beat the Fever. That was impressive, too. They're a solid overall team. Like, I think that the Valkyries are mispriced here. I think they should be a smaller number. Ionescu's banged up. That doesn't help either. But we said before, 8.5, it's a massive number for the Liberty, missing John Quell and maybe Ionescu as well. I'll go Valkyries, who've been very good at home. I think they can win this game. And one of the last times they played, they had the back-to-back game. The Liberty killed them in the first game. Second game came down to the wire. The Valkyries almost won the second game. And that was before they actually discovered their identity and their rotations. So I like the Valkyries in this game, plus 8.5. They can win the game.
Just a quick detour. Maurice, I'm saying no to the Aces team total, but they've only hit it twice playing the Connecticut Sun. I want you to know, the Connecticut Sun were actually a good team last year. I don't think you were here for that. I don't know. You couldn't have been here for that. The Connecticut Sun were actually a really good team last year, and they were making the semifinals and the playoffs every single year. I mean, they were a clear bridesmaid, never the bride. Like, they were a really good defense. This Connecticut Sun team, the one that they played earlier this season and scored 87-62, they suck. They're bad. So we're both on Valkyries. I'm on the under, Scott. My Valkyries play defense.
I agree with you. And with Ionescu being banged up, I question if this team has enough actual... I mean, if Ionescu's out, I like Cloud props, but she's not nearly the same score as Ionescu is. So I'm with you. I like the under in the game.
Dang, did you just steal his... Did you just steal his sweet word for word? He just stole its word. Scott, he just stole it word for word.
Well, I'm confused, though, because...
He copied and pasted. He even spelled the name wrong like him.
Is she out? Because I thought that she...
No, she is out. She is out.
Okay, she is out. Okay.
So I got the notification that she got the overseas commitment, and we were in the middle of the show, and then they sent out one like 6 minutes later saying she's officially out for us.
Oh,
so
okay.
she's back, but she's out for us.
Okay.
But no, he stole his message word for word. He even misspelled the names wrong too. They said, "Oh, you fool for that. You super fool for that." All right, player props, man.
What do you like? Because Ionescu is going to be a tricky spot. So, I mean, we're going with Stewie rebounds, Stewie points. She had a pretty decent game without John Quell, but I think you have to kind of run it back as long as John Quell's out. Ionescu's banged up. Do they lean more into Cloud? They might. I mean, Cloud already haven't been, I'd say, as great as it was earlier in the year, but based on what could be a lack of usage, the same amount of usage for UNESCO, I don't mind considering a Cloud angle here. Maybe Cloud rebounding, if you want to go for an argument there. She had 5 rebounds last game. Her number's only at 3.5. I think 3.5 is very low. Very, very low. She had 5 last game against the Valkyries as well. She's going to play a bunch of minutes. I don't mind the Cloud over 3.5 rebounds at -120.
Okay, update on of caption Steelgate. It's the same guy. He just came over to YouTube.
Okay.
All right, cool. He just hopped over from YouTube. Same. All right, man. So Tip Hayes is at 14.5, but Tip Hayes also. So I don't know if you remember when she was playing for Connecticut and they were playing the Liberty, and she was going at Sabrina like extra hard and telling her, yeah, you can't guard me. You can't guard me. She can't do that this time because Natasha Cloud is here. But Veronica Burton might have a little game. Whoever Sabrina's guarding, that's who you go for. I think Burton could have a little bit. It's 11.5 at plus money. I might take a little stab on Veronica Burton today, but honestly, I'm good on the player props. I know what my Valkyries is going to do. I don't know how they're going to do it any given night, but I know what they're going to do. 7-6. 7-6. It's somebody with under 8.5 that's like, fuck right now. All right. What else, Scott? Got anything else? I do like the Stewie play. I think somebody asked that earlier. Who was that? Rebounds points is crazy, by the way. But 25.5 points and rebounds, not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, Maurice is like I said, I like the under, but it was 161. It's 162 now. I also want to say that I like the Sky yesterday, and they opened up catching 1.5, and they finished catching 5. So it's like you give and take. Like these lines move. The WNBA lines move so much, man. It's crazy. Like they're up and down movement, left, right, up, down, left, center, north, south, east, west. Like it's everywhere.
Well, it tends to take less to move. It tends to take less to move those lines because the limits are usually lower. So you might see, especially more line movement on W compared to NBA, for example, just based on, once again, the amount of limits and the amount of actual action you're getting, handle, etc. So W lines move a lot more than the NBA. It's just a general rule of thumb.
Man, it's crazy, and it's like it's crazy because you can't even back the movement all the time because again, yesterday the Sparks went from 1.5 all the way up to 6 and lost outright. Like you just gotta. Sometimes you can't. I think I pay attention to it more in other sports than I do in the W, but I think in W I just go what my gut says for the most part. All right. Underdog Fantasy Best Ball Mania is here. It's happening all summer long, and they're giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million the first place. Scott, imagine if you won $2 million playing best ball.
Yeah, which I've never done before in my entire life.
You never played best ball?
Never did. No.
Oh, dude, I love it. Oh, what? I love it. I don't have to do anything.
I'm in New York. I can't access Underdog.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just stuck.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do a proxy for $2 million. What is it, circa? Can't do that. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to drive to like Jersey and do a draft and then like just figure it out afterwards? Come on.
You know what, Scott? One of these ad reads, we're going to do a best ball lineup. I'll front it and it'll be our lineup. If we'll draft together and if we win,
sure, we'll chop it. That's fine.
Well, yeah. So, you know what? We'll do that, Scott. We'll do that. So, honestly, all y'all are playing for second place because me and Scott win the $2 million. So, make sure you head over to Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code NBA SGPN. Claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code NBA SGPN. You heard us talk about Rhythm before. Well, they've got power trends. AI detected patterns where rhythms models have consistently won and have a high ROI. They're updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No noise, no touts, just clean data bets for you to use. So head over there, download the Rhythm app, check out the power trends. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm for a 7-day free trial. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. We're in Thursday now. Los Angeles Sparks on the road going to play the Indiana Fever. Fever are laying 10.5 here. 171.5 is the total. What was I? Oh, that's what I was doing. So, with the news yesterday, and I mean, they didn't wait 24 hours. They must have been knew this was going on. DeWanna Bonner has been waived by the Indiana Fever. A really big acquisition that is now out there on the market, by the way, Scott. Because if she was just bad because she didn't want to be in Indiana, might help somebody. Well, we'll count down the days until DeWanna Bonner is a Phoenix Mercury. By the way, Ari McDonald signed with the Fever in her place. And because she got waived, this is a rest of the season contract. Ari McDonald's going to be with the Fever going forward.
She's going to be so good in Toronto next year.
Or Portland.
Or Portland. Or one of the other teams down the road.
Can't wait.
I'm getting serious MLS vibes from the WNBA, where you have like a small amount of teams, and then out of nowhere, there's a new expansion team every year for the next like 6 years, and eventually you end up with 30, and you're like, didn't we just have like 12? When did this happen?
Yeah.
We're going to keep having expansion teams every year.
The expansion teams have come out of the woodworks very, very recently. Did you realize first of all, it just got released, but the Valkyries' valuation just jumped the Liberty. Liberty are $450 million team. The Valkyries are a $500 million team.
It's Vegas. It happens.
Oh, dude. All right. With that being said, I mean, the only cause for concern for Indiana here is that the Sparks just get out into some crazy heater in the first half, as they typically do. But, like, at that point, just bet Indiana live, because the Sparks are going to blow it in the fourth quarter. That's going to happen. By the way, I think last night proved that Len Roberts definitely moves below Tyler Marsh in the bad first-year coaches race.
That's fine.
Definitely moved below. Blown on the road in Chicago to that team. They had 15 points in the end of the first. They had 15 points that Chicago did at the end of the first quarter. Like, offense was looking bad. Pretty. Yeah. Oh, I thought my bet was going to lose, and then I mean that 15 points in one quarter. I promise you, they had 30 in like the first 3 minutes of the second quarter. Like they gave up 15 points in like 3 minutes. It was really bad. Yeah, this Sparks team is cooked. Give me the Fever, laying 10.5. There's a 2-tier gap difference here for me.
Okay, I think I'm with you there. It was a great win against the Storm. They have one of the worst pick and roll defenses I've ever seen. I don't know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
At some point, you had to bench Ezzy. You had to try something. Like, Aaliyah's not even having anyone near her by the basket on at these possessions. Like, you have to try something. But anyway, Kaylin still can't shoot, and they beat Seattle anyway on the road.
It's like 1 for 23 her last.
It's disgusting. It's like the Durant. It's like the Durant graphic in Thunderstruck. But the point is,
what a deep pull was that?
Deep pull.
Oh my God! Was you sitting on that all morning? Did you randomly think about that this morning and say, "Oh yeah, I'm pulling that one out"? Like, how did you get
but you said
there?
1 of 23, and I immediately thought of the graphic of Durant. You know what I'm talking about.
Wow. All right.
It's a deep pull. Really bad movie, but a kind of a cult classic.
You were thinking about the Thunder winning the championship. It made you think about that.
Indirectly, probably. And how Durant didn't win with that team. But
by the way, Liberty's championship parade 100 times more lit than the Thunder.
Yeah. I gotta actually remember what day the Liberty parade was, because the OKC one was on like a Monday or a Tuesday.
It was a Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so like middle of the week. Mm. And come on, your team wins the championship. You're not leaving work that one day. And if you're a boss, you're not going to let your people like because I've been a manager in the military, Scott. If I was stationed in OKC and I saw them win the championship, I would be like, yeah, go to the parade, get everything done, go to the parade. So like, I don't know why people weren't at the parade. That's crazy.
Yeah, but the point is for this game, the Fever, even with Caitlin forgetting how to shoot, is just still better than the Sparks because they were able to go into Seattle and win. The Sparks are a joke. They can't guard anybody. They give up 90 plus to the Sky. I just mentioned Aaliyah Boston went crazy. They give up 27 to Cardozo. And you're looking at Reese, who had what? It was 18 and 17 yesterday?
Wait, 18 and 17?
She had 18 points, 17 rebounds, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like, both of them went crazy. So I know that for a fact the Sparks can't stop anybody in the paint. And Caitlin, if she gets her shot going, can definitely still have a solid game in general. Mm-hmm. I'll go with, once again, the Fever at home. The Sparks are a really bad team.
And it's really evident in the second half, man. Like,
yeah, they're poorly coached.
7-5-2 in the first half ATS. Shout out to the Money Waller, and 5-9 for the full game. That's coaching. That's coaching. You're in the game in the first half and you blow it every single time. Like, what am I supposed to do about that? What am I supposed to do?
You keep fading the bad teams. Because clearly the adjustments that they're running are not actual adjustments.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't. So, and then we bet Indiana at home. Mm-hmm. Now, am I slightly concerned that Indiana was on the road for the past, since the 17th? So, what's that, about a week? Yeah.
Yeah.
But slightly, but they won the last game. I think they want to build some momentum for themselves. I think they think they're better than what their record is. And so, yeah, I think they come in here locked in, handle business. This Sparks team doesn't play defense. They're very inconsistent offensively. Yes, they can have the offensive explosion, but like, what good, Scott, what good is 30 points in a quarter if you come right back and score like 13?
It's not worth much because the law of averages tells you your team still sucks.
Yeah, like, I can't deal with this Sparks team. They're bad. Indiana laying 10.5. 171.5 is total. I like a first half over more than the full game, but I mean, I don't trust the Sparks to stop anything. And it's clear, especially after last night, Indiana doesn't care if they're putting up points.
Yeah. I think it's just Fever. You could play the drop if you want to. I can't back the Sparks. If you lose on the road to the Sky and get killed in the paint, you're going to lose this game. So.
I want to say that even if the Sparks do get out to something early in the first half here, I'm completely live betting Indiana and fading them. So, like, even if we don't hit this, I'm hitting whatever live bet. Because at this point, all live bets against the Sparks hit. Like, that's just what your live bets against the Sparks hit. So, I will 100% be fading the Sparks team if they get out to an early lead here, for sure. All right, player props. Well, if it's any time for her to start hitting threes, it's this game.
That's what I mean. I guess
I can't imagine. I really can't imagine anybody keeping up with her on that side of the ball.
So just to be clear, you're talking about Caitlin, right? Not Kelsey Plum?
Yeah, Caitlin. No,
just Kelsey making sure.
Hit some too. Kelsey probably hit some too, but I was talking about
I have no faith in Plum to do anything. I was always willing to swerve on Kelsey Plum, and I look to be very, very right. So
yeah, shout out for her for cashing the points prop last game at Def.
Yeah, shout out to her for being the third best player on the title team. You could argue second, but I would say third.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say you could argue fourth.
You could argue fourth too, but I think I'd probably put her ahead of Jackie, but it could have been usage based. But yeah, point is I was never high on Plum, so her being the leader of this team, it's as bad as you might think.
Yeah, Jackie plays defense. I'm for sure putting Jackie ahead of her.
That's fine.
Sorry,
so congrats on being the fourth best player on the title team.
Yeah. So Clark, 20.5 points. I just can't. I'm just going to assume that they're not going to be able to guard her. This is her coming out party here at home. What else here? What else? I wonder how De'Arica has been against this team. By the way, shout out to Azure for having a good game.
She hooped. I mean, a lot of it was early in the game, but still had a solid game.
No, it was early in the game for a lot of the Sparks.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
It was early in the game for a lot of the Sparks. Oh, man. All right. De'Arica's been good against the Fever. Okay. 18-12, 17-10, 16-7. Okay, I can talk myself into De'Arica having a little game here. Where's the assist? I might add the PRA in it as well because she does get a bunch of assists. I think she had 5 last night. She did have 5 last night. Yeah, I like De'Arica to fill up a stat sheet here.
I mean, I ended up taking the assists, so that's been an underrated angle for her.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. And you cashed. Good job, Scott.
Thank you. It's one of the only things I cashed yesterday. Felt good. I had that and the over in the damn Sky game. That was kind of it. But
yeah, let's see what Lynn Roberts does defensively. I'm not gonna lie. You might have to take a Leah Boston again. I don't have any faith that they're gonna make any adjustments here and make sure Leah Boston doesn't go crazy like that for a second straight game. Jesus Christ, Aaliyah. 17-12, 26-10, 31-8, last 3 games. Caitlin Clark is back, and Aaliyah Boston, it looks like an MVP candidate again. Yeah, I'm all over Aaliyah Boston props. 23.5 for points and rebounds isn't enough. When Clark is back and getting her the ball, she's really good, man.
She is.
But what's up with Caitlin Clark's assists?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's not been good. I know that. Does that count?
No, it hasn't. It really hasn't. Yeah, what's going on? 48 people watching, 6 likes. What are you talking about? There's L's. L's in the chat. L's in the chat. All right. I think that's it there. Washington Mystics. Gosh, I have so many pseudo teams in the league. It's crazy because I kind of claim this Mystics team too. Going up against Las Vegas Aces. This will be the second leg of the back-to-back in Aces. Shout out to the books. I have been very critical, and I'll admit it. I've been very critical about how you've been going backwards and we're taking forever to get these lines. But there's not too many times that the books have given us a back-to-back line the day before the first game was played. So you know what? Appreciate you. Aces are currently laying 8.5, 162.5 is total. They'll be on the second leg of a back-to-back here. The Mystics are going on the road.
We're assuming the Aces may be sitting some starters earlier on Wednesday, so it is a back-to-back, but there might be some, I'd say less workload than normal for the Aces in this first game.
So they're at home, both of the games. I don't think it's not playing a factor for me.
It doesn't play a factor for me either, but I am just saying that I forgot to mention earlier with the Aces laying a big number. There is a chance they sit people early intentionally because they play again tomorrow. They might be earlier to pull people. But anyway, you can go back to your point. Sorry. No,
it's just them being at home and the state of the Aces right now. I just think that they need to give their people as much burn as possible. I don't think that it's going to play as big as a role as I think. And we've seen teams get up on the second legs of a back-to-back. The Phoenix Mercury went on the road and won at New York on the second leg of a back-to-back. And the Atlanta Dream earlier this season played, granted, it was the Wings and the Sun. Yeah, Wings Sun at home, and they were able to get it done both times and look okay. So with that being said, this Mystics team doesn't give up. And Sidney Johnson makes adjustments. He empowers his team. I think that, of course, I will love this a lot more if Brittany Sykes is playing in the game. When I went to the game yesterday and I was listening and talking to Sidney Johnson pre and post game, he did say that the Sykes not playing yesterday was more precautionary based rather than something long term with her. But he did say that he didn't know that she was going to be out until he got to the building. When he got to the building, they told her, like, yeah, she's not going to play. We're going to hold her out. And he was like, all right, cool. So decent chance, Scott. He said he's still not 100% if it's a long-term thing, but he feels like it's really more precautionary why they held her out yesterday. So probably could get Brittany Sykes in this game. And if Sykes plays in this game, then the Aces defense is so bad. They're so bad. And the Mystics, if you give them opportunity, Shakira Austin, Kiki Iriafen, Brittany Sykes potentially, Celia Citron, you give them opportunities, they're going to score. Give me the Washington Mystics plus 8.5 here, second leg of a back-to-back.
I just think it's too many points. I think that the Mystics, despite not being good lately, they can still be competitive. And I do think that, assuming Sykes does play in this game, they can match up decently against this Aces team. They should have won the first meeting of the season. They choked it in the fourth quarter. But the game was right there. And they let it go. So they're not going to be intimidated. In fact, there might be a chip on their shoulder because they should have beaten this team already and they ended up losing the first time. So I think this game's close. I like the under in this game, but I do think it'll be a close game. It comes down to the wire. Give me the Aces by 5. Kind of similar to the first meeting, but I think 8.5 is too many points.
Give me a... I do kind of like the... I'm torn on the total. I could see how it goes under, and the Aces just don't show up offensively. And maybe the Mystics squeak over their total, but it's like barely under this game. 162.5 does sound like a lot for a Mystics game. But it's also the Aces playing, and that's what's concerning to me. So I'm not 100% there on the total yet, Scott, personally. Player props. Do we have them? Do we have that too? No way we have that. Do we?
I don't think we do.
I don't think so either. That would be too much. Oh wait, hold on. No. They tried to get me. That's just first basket. No. All right. That's it then. Lock. Dog. Underdog. Let's see here. 2 days. What do we want to lock up? You know, I don't think the Valkyries have the offense, even with the issues that the Liberty have with injuries right now. I don't think they have the offense where they're just going to run up the score on this team. I think this is going to be a slow burn, drag it out, ugly kind of game. Give me under 161.5 for the Valkyries and the Liberty.
Okay.
For my dog, gosh, can Aaliyah do it 4 times in a row? I'm very tempted. Scott. Let's see here. Let me see. Can I get what's Aaliyah's lines at? I can get Aaliyah Boston for 18 points at plus 170.
It is a good deal.
Or I can go for Asia 25 at plus 145. Yeah, let's go with Aaliyah. All right, Aaliyah Boston, 18 plus points, plus 170. Scott.
All right, so for my lock, I'm going to go with Aaliyah over 14.5 points at minus 120. It's just an insanely low number. If you want to go for some alts, you can. I might pump the brakes a little bit because if Clark does get going, she might end up shooting a lot more. But 14.5 conceptually is too low. You're looking at a Sparks team that allowed 27 to Camilla, and Reese also had 17 points. It's a lot of points in the paint. This team can't guard anybody. They're bad at everything. Aaliyah, though, has gotten a bigger amount of usage because Clark's shot's been bad. They've been leaning into her more. She's been solid. She's attempted 37 shots in the last 2 games. The volume's been going up. The Sparks can't guard anybody. Give me Aaliyah Boston over 14.5 points as my lock at minus 120. For my dog in a swing forward, price is too big with the injuries. Give me the Valkyries money line at 4-1, plus 400. It's an insane price. The Valkyries are a team.
I would scream if the Valkyries got the win outright against the Liberty.
They're great at home. They almost beat the Liberty on a second night of a deja vu game. They almost pulled that off in New York earlier this year. But you have no John Quell. I do think the Valkyries, rebounding wise, can do damage against the Liberty. And I do think if Ionescu's below 100%, there could be some reason to suspect either she might not play or she might struggle. But 4-1 for an objectively speaking a great home team, I think it's an insane price against a pretty short-handed Liberty team that we've faded and we've been winning.
Yep.
Again, so I'll go with the Valkyries money line at 4-1.
All right. Not bad. You're making my plus 170 look like a little.
I'm gonna swing for it.
Little chihuahua. Sky. All right.
Anything else you like?
Yeah, I guess we can get a little parlay going here. Let's see. Well, let's just take the Mystics blindly plus 9. I actually have these 2 teams in the same tier, believe it or not, Scott.
Okay.
So why not? We'll do a parlay of that. We'll take the Mystics plus 9. Let's see. What else? We'll throw in that first half over with the Sun and the Aces and just say all the scoring happens in the first half. Oh, that number's gone up since last night. And leg number 3, Indiana, some way, shape, or form. They're at home, so let's take the same total over. Well, I can't do that in this parlay. All right, I'll just take the full over for the game. No, I don't. I don't trust. No, I trust. I trust Indiana to let the Sparks do whatever. So there we go. Is this? Yeah, oh wait, I can't parlay. Oh, I can't play the Aces twice. Oh, okay. All right. So scratch the first half over. And let's just put the Valkyries first half in there. So yeah. All right. This is it. Valkyries first half plus 5.5. Sparks Fever over 171.5. Mystics plus 9.
Okay.
Underdog. I mean, even if it's 3/4 of work, I still think Asia gets there.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I think Caitlin's going to have a good game when she plays too.
I want Boston points in there. That's a given. I think 14.5 is too low. Against that
you think we have a pretty good if we play Aaliyah and Caitlin, we have good I mean, come on, the Sparks suck. The Sparks suck defensively. I'm fine playing both of them. I think Caitlin's going over too. I mean, higher too. So I think we just play both.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, there we go. We got 2 South Carolina grads and an Iowa grad. Asia Wilson higher 22.5 points. Aaliyah Boston higher 14.5 points. And Caitlin Clark higher 20.5 points. And then Underdog shake it up and you get 6x. $100 gets you $600 over there at Underdog Fantasy. Let's see. Chat. Yes, 48 people watching, 6 likes was crazy. Need y'all to like that up for me, please. Hunter likes a Clark triple-double there. I can't go against that, especially not at home. Yep, keep betting Caitlin Clark. Well, she will explode, especially at home. Yeah, I would only take her at home at this point. Yep. Scott had Scott, you did have that cake baked for a minute talking about Thunderstruck.
I actually did not. I made it up on the fly. I just straight up made that up on the fly. You said 1 for 20 something. My mind went right to the Durant scoreline there. It was either going to be the Durant scoreline or it was going to be the Dion Waiters. I'd rather go 0 for 30 because that means I didn't lose confidence.
Oh my gosh.
One of those two. But no, I did not. I actually just had that off the rip. I did not have that loaded up earlier. No, that was on the fly.
Nice pull, Scott. Nice
Thank
pull.
you.
All right. Anything else for people before we get up out of here?
No. Once again, we were able to actually do games tomorrow as well. So definitely nice that the odds makers and the books came out early with the lines and props for a game or two. Looking forward to it. Go Valkyries.
What?
4-1. Come on.
I need a little. Somebody send me a Valkyries flag so I can wave it around like I'm the guy from PTI. Go Valkyries! He's at Reichel Radio. I'm at really real __. Make sure you give me a follow. Yeah, I haven't played the drop all day. I'm gonna play it real quick. Whoa. Teams have been advised not to claim DeWanna Bonner off waivers. DeWanna Bonner, you are a Phoenix Mercury. Congratulations. All right, I wonder who they're going to cut to bring her in. All right, with that being said, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way than podcast. Just going to like this week are out of here.